Hello YouTube. Today we're going to do my daily driver. So I also have videos of doing a decal on this and doing, I don't know, about this exhaust and wheels and job bits. But so I went for a trip and the clutch was slipping a bit on me in low gears going up hills, but the bike was heavily loaded, but it's still kind of indication that the clutch plates are probably on the way out, or at least the kind of abradable plates, maybe not the steel plates. So the manual calls up this inspection on the clutch plates at, let me find this. So yeah, get the manual, it's very useful. So what does the clutch system inspection entail, you ask? I assume it's going to tell me to take off the side engine case here, disconnect the cabling, pull this off, and have a look at the plates inside in the basket, which you'll see with the measurement. Could be, hopefully it's something more simple than that though. I'm just doing the plates and the springs. So yeah, check plates. Check the plates for discoloration, check plates for warpage, check plates thickness with a feeder gauge, adjust the judder springs. Yeah, so there's going to be springs, and when the pack of plates comes out there's going to be like a spring, probably at the pressure plate side or maybe on the basket side. I don't see the spring in the diagram that they're talking about though. Oh, it's here. It's just on top of the boss. There's two springs. That's okay. Let's get the section back up again. Right crankcase moving. Drain the engine oil. There you go. That's the first position. So I'll drain the engine oil. I'm going to just put it up on the lift so I don't have to work with it so low. So I'll cut to that. Right, so she's up on the bench. I can take the throttle position wire off, or not throttle position, crank position sensor off. Just disconnect it up here under the tank. It's kind of fiddly, so I took the seat and the side clearing off. I'm just disconnecting the clutch cable now, and then I'm going to do the ring of bolts. I also have to drain the oil, so I'm going to first crack that open, drain, and then I'll go at the clutch cable. So, start this cable. Just going to up at the top as well. Tension at the top, you should be able to just move this through like this. So crank off. Manual says drain the engine oil, remove the bolt and clutch cable guide plate. Drain the bolt and clutch cable guide plate. Remove the bolt and clutch cable guide plate. The bolt. Oh, once we take that off too. This little thing. Oh, gotcha. So they're all 8s probably. Remove the EOP switch wire from the clamp. EOP switch wire. Right. EOP switch wire from the clamp. No pictures. I assume that's just the crank position sensor. Remove the right crankcase, cover bolts, and clamp. Oh, this thing. EOP, engine oil pressure. Okay, so I'm going to have to disconnect this thing. Oh Jesus. Just buried. Just take it off. I have to take that bracket off too. Alright, so from what you see before, we got the seat off, the side cover off, disconnected all the cables to the clutch case and cover case, unit cover, clutch out the engine, and there's a bit of a balls getting it off because two of the dowels are quite rusted, so it was hard to prise it this way. I got it off eventually. So now I'm down to the actual clutch assembly itself, and I've taken out this, there's a gear, starter reduction idle gear or something, sitting here like this, in this little hole here, sits in there and meshes this to this wheel here. Oh, yeah, that's good. Now I've loosened these, that's kind of stop it from turning. I just kind of jammed the flywheel at the back there and turned each one in a pattern, and now they're all loose, so this plate here, pressure plate, should come away with the 5 bolts and the 5 springs, and then we can see all the plates inside the plates. You'll see the plates. So now remove the clutch lifter piece from the lifter bearing. Remove the clutch spring bolts and the red cross band tree, then remove the pressure plate. The pressure plate is this. It's got a bearing in it. And that's left in there. So there's a bearing in that. It's fine. These discs out and measure them. Remove the following. It says clutch disc A. This is a fiber one. So, this is our first one. Well, let's see what life is left of it. It's always within the job. Here's the clutch disc if you show signs of coloring or disclosure. Measure the disc thickness of each disc. Service limit is 2.6 millimeters. 2.6 millimeters. Right. I got more than that. About 3. Okay, so after a lot of fiddling, cleaned up the inside of this. The teeth are a bit grooved, so I'm going to live with that. So the sequence it goes in is, I have it, this is all tight, the boss and the basket are all tightened up to the flywheel, and then I have this 2 springs. So it says one is a flat spring, one is a judder spring. So the flat spring is just like a normal washer, and that goes in first, over the boss, all the way back, touch it there. And then the judder spring is kind of concave, it's like it's domed a bit, and it says from the diagram the outside lip of this dome shape, I don't know if you can see it, but the outside lip of this dome shape should be pointed out from the engine against the flat washer. So that goes in on top of that washer. And now we go through the plates. So coat the clutch plates in clean engine oil, install the clutch plate discs larger ever into the clutch outer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw the plates in because they're all dumped in oil over here. Start stacking them. So this is the first one. So the larger diameter. This is what the manual refers to as clutch disc, or clutch plate. Yeah, clutch disc B. This is the back one. So one in, that's home. Last plate. One plate in bin. One plate. So this last plate is what the manual refers to as plate A. I thought it was a different plate for ages, and I was looking, measuring them and whatever. It just calls it plate A because it's one teeth off. So all the rest of the plates are going in these slots. This one goes one tooth back. That's a shallower recess. So that's it. All the plates are back in. Now I'm going to put on the oh wait. I'm going to put on this. Oh, that there's a flat on this. I don't think it matters though because it's a round one. It just pulls the pressure plate out against the springs. Pressure plate. Let's go on no particular order. There is teeth on it that mesh with the teeth in here, so try and get that at least lined up. Oh wait, there's little dome cutouts here. 3 little domes and no teeth. I'm aiming for the ones with the teeth. Okay. Shit. New springs. Should be a bit stiffer and a bit less fatigued. 12 Newton meters of torque. Not a whole lot. Air was cramping. It's plenty tight. Right, so clutch is back in, new springs are on, bolts are on. Seems pretty solid. I can't pull the lever right now. Oh, now I just got to reinstall the dowel pins and the starter idle gear and its weird little washer. There's a wavy washer and it has a flat washer. And they also sit in a recess on the gear. There's a little recess on the bottom of that gear there, and then the other side is just like concave. These washers sit down here. Look, that goes wavy one first, then the flat one, and then into the shaft. Alright folks, we finished the clutch on the Hornet. The whole case is back on, filled with oil. I changed the oil filter. I changed the oil type too because I only realised on the clutch plates, the new ones I got, it said to use semi-synthetic oil. So what I was running before was fully synthetic 10W30. So I just got 10W30 semi-synthetic and soaked the plates in that, and then because I soaked the plates in that I need to change out the old oil which was the fully synthetic, so I drained all that out, took out the filter, put a new filter in, filled it up with the semi-synthetic, let it sit overnight to let the there's no gasket between the engine and the case for the clutch, so the manual doesn't call one up, it just says put gasket maker sealant stuff. I have some here. So So this is grand instant gasket, clear, RTV, high temp. Cut the nozzle, put a bead on the engine case. On the manual it says put it on the case, and then it says on the engine side of the kind of flange between the two, you put gasket maker only just below the oil filler cap and just above the crank pulley thing here inside the pickup. There's like a little pickup, a crank position sensor here on the side with the wiring coming in it, but it's actually mounted down here in the corner and it looks this way, and you put a load of seal behind that and a load of seal here. Not a load, don't go overzealous on it, because it can get into the, because it's liquid initially, it can get into the, when you push the two, kick the case and the engine together, the bead of sealant that's still in there might squeeze out on both sides, and you see it on the outside as well, it'll squeeze out like a sandwich. So any that goes inside, you have to remember, is now going to go into the engine case, so you can have silicone sealant in there with the clutch mechanism and the engine and the crank, and you've got an oil filter, and so I'm probably going to have to change oil filter again soon enough, just to be sure that none of that stuff has ended up inside the engine with the oil. So I'll do that later anyway, it's fine. This doesn't really need anything other than that. I just did the clutch. Hopefully the oil change. I said the clutch plates weren't too bad anyway, but I changed them. But as I was using fully synthetic, and I should have been using semi-synthetic, that might have explained why the clutch was slipping a bit on me at low revs with like a big heavy load on the back, like going up a hill, and so because it does say fully synthetic can cause slippage with with wet clutch systems. So yeah, hopefully that solved that problem. New plates never hurt anyone, and having a look inside and getting there's a bit of corrosion on the front corner here on the two dowel pins, and they're very hard to get out, so I just cleaned the shit out of them in place. They won't be coming out anytime soon, and I don't want to mangle them because I don't have any tanned, so I just cleaned all the corrosion off them and cleaned them up, and they're flush and sealed around, so they're pretty grand. And it hasn't leaked. I had it running and I had it running in neutral for about get up to temperature, and then I held the clutch in while the back wheel was off the ground, and put it into the gear, and then the wheel kind of jumped obviously because there's a bit of friction in there, then let off the clutch and the wheel is rolling again, and then while the wheel was rolling in gear, hit the back brake a little just to see if it would if a bit of resistance in the back wheel would have any effect on the clutch. It didn't. It was fine. It slowed down the wheel and the engine started to like die. So clutched in again and perfect. So it seems alright mechanically. I still have to get out on the road and test it, which I will do this afternoon. But yeah, another job done on the Hornet. So I'm sure I'll be back here again. I only realised I had older videos made for this, so I'm going to go through the older videos and make up some stuff already for this, because I think I have one for the gear selector, or the gear indicator. I have one for, I don't know, somewhere, maybe the seat cover or something. I don't know, I'll look them up here. Alright, thanks everybody. Bye.